good until Russell gets here, and then it kind of falls off the rails.
You hadn't signed?
He's in there, yeah,
Yeah, wouldn't you know?
It always is.
Isn't it true?
Boston County. Okay. We're good. Golden. Yay. Thank you, Kevin, for joining us. Well, this is.
Well, I told my last contact yesterday.
Well, this is not a record, don't worry.
So I'm looking at it.
She's a quitter.
Oh, really? Oh, you should go when you get home.
Sorry, I'm kind of.
Oh, okay, you're in the plan.
Wonderful.
Wow.
I'll do it.
I'm sure that.
Yeah, to get here. So, with me running my own business, everything else, it's an effort to make it over. So as long as it's something that, that we're doing things that are meaningful, valuable, but gotta end up over in his county doing a lot of work. And, not very efficient over there because he's so, that you can hear him out.
Paperwork said don't
What's
promote.
going on in three
So
schools?
they had
I
to,
have a one-year-old.
you know, put two below.
Texas. He's very vocal now.
Okay. That's the one area that we need. We had a state park, which was wonderful, but when the big heated debate over that, but it was sold to a private developer, who's developed some, just a very exclusive, they're building, the lots are going anywhere from 2.5 to 5 million apiece. And, multiple, golf courses, very exclusive. I think the HOA dues on that are going to be $250,000 a year.
Yes.
They're about acre, maybe.
Boy.
Yeah. 2.5 to 5 million a piece on those. It's going to add about $3 billion of value to us as a district, so as a school district, so to the county significantly more. We've got a new what's that? Coal, or not coal fired, but natural gas fired generating plant.
Yeah, I'm thinking cancer.
Oil and gas rich, so it's a good use of our resources there, so just a lot of good things.
Is it the same location?
It's Calpine, they're adding a new unit, and they're adding a new unit to power the data center that's going in right adjacent to that. But some down in Leon County are really going to fit regarding the data center because of the water usage. But for us, it's going to be 4 to 5 households of 4 is the amount of water we'll use.
So everybody have a packet?
Have to get
You might need a packet?
with company.
Cyrus One is
I'll have to check on that.
I'm working with a new organization now called the Waco Bridge, it's a nonprofit group, we're doing an event on data centers. Well, we should have Judge Felton, it'll be at TCC on March 2nd. Judge Felton, the head of geology from UT, and the Rochester River Authority there as well, just talking about, it's really answering questions.
Is it the economic the Bureau of Economic Geology at UT, or is
So
it?
it's their director. And so we'll be doing an event.
Is it Scott Tink, is it Tinker?
But I could be wrong.
We worked with them when they were
Yeah.
doing Future Gen, but worked with those folks really closely for a couple of years.
Well, if you guys are interested, March 2nd at TSTC, and we'll leave plenty of time, about 30 to 45 minutes, just to field questions.
Wonderful.
So,
Right, we partner with TSDC to do a lot of our dual credit CT type courses. Yeah.
we have a Waco break in this letter that goes on a few times a week about things happening in the Waco area.
I am very interested.
And can you send that to Robin and I just get her?
Oh, sure, yeah. Oh, thank you for that.
You got a phone call. Oh, you got it? I should have known that, go ahead.
But a lot of fun, a lot of exciting stuff.
Yeah, except when you're ahead of it.
Well,
We've done a lot of coverage on the data center going into Lakeview and Boston. Our organization is really working pretty well with all parties. We've had good feedback that it's really balanced for coordination.
Kevin, okay, I do not, I'm sorry, I am sorry. You're gonna go make your picture right now.
but no.
The photographer is here. Madam President, may I have an
We
order?
need to go ahead and get the meeting going. We're already 15 minutes in, 20 minutes in.
I've been here 15 years and you've been promising me a picture.
I know, we'll get
And I got
you
a
one.
photographer out
I'll
there.
get you one.
I paid
No, you won't. They won't be there when you're done.
Let's
If
move
we can
along.
start,
We'll
you
play
go
that
take a
in.
picture.
Let's move along.
We'll take your picture. I took it.
Go.
Well, the camera roll.
I think the president said, get up,
I
bye.
know. Please.
No, she said, please.
Oh, she said, please, I want your picture.
Fallon, can you escort him to the photographer?
You know, I'm famous for cracking whips.
You need a weapon?
You know,
Sorry.
Brad Pitt ain't got nothing on you. I'll grab one off of Facebook or something here.
It is 1:20 on Thursday, January 22nd. I call this meeting to order. Do we have a quorum? Yes. Thank you. Acknowledgement and notice of public proof of posting of notice in accordance with the provisions of Chapter 551, Texas Government Code as amended, known as Texas Open Meetings Act. We are in compliance.
Yes, ma'am.
The minutes. Oh, introduction of guests, thank you very much. Yes. And public
Yes.
comment.
Amy Teal, City of Whitney, still here.
Dorothy Jackson, hot dog.
Michelle Rogers, hot dog.
That was okay, hot dog.
Thank you. Do we have any public comment?
I do have one question.
Okay.
I had asked if there was an email subscription that people could get, members of the public could get, for notice of meetings instead of checking the calendar every other day. Is that something that y'all could look into offering, where people can subscribe and get a notice?
It's kind of a Mary question, but we'll check.
Yeah.
We do not want in any way to appear to be unfair in how we notice people.
I know.
And so we follow the legal requirements set forth by Texas Government Code in doing the posting. And actually, to even be more technical, this is not a governmental body, this is a private
Right.
corporation.
Right.
So we go above and beyond even posting the meetings.
I understand. Someone was asking, so I told them I would ask here.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we'll check into that.
Okay.
Do we have your card?
Oh,
And I'm gonna ask, and I do not mean to be blunt, I'm just a direct for it.
No,
When you're
it's
saying
good.
you're asking for somebody, are you asking for yourself, or is it somebody else?
oh no, for somebody else. I
Do
checked
you have
them.
their information?
Yeah.
Okay, if you'll give it to us, we'll see what we can do about getting it done.
Okay.
Okay? Thank you.
Item number 3, minutes.
Okay, I made a mistake on the minutes.
Yes,
I
ma'am.
accidentally misspelled Mr. Ignasio's last name. Somehow autocorrect. I'm
Nobody
blaming it
will
on
know.
autocorrect.
Nobody will know.
Every other minutes are correct. That's just one change that needs to be noted.
And we will make that correction for the official minutes.
It's my
Thank you.
fault.
It's Michelle's fault. It's the two last names.
That's correct.
Was it an S or a Z that?
This is the mine's S.
You're SEC, okay. So you come first.
I'm sorry, the motion.
I have a motion and a second.
Adopt the minutes as correct.
And Jerry was,
Okay, sorry.
All in favor? Any against? That item carries. Item number 4, chair report.
that's special.
Has nothing to,
Special, there is a special.
Very, very special.
It's right there.
This is what, Dave will give this to me.
Okay,
Okay.
Fastest chair.
Everything.
Maybe you don't know it yet, but we got something for you.
so as the chair, I want to tell you all, it's been a great ride up here. You've made it a joy, and I appreciate each and every one of you. So thank you. Item number 5, consideration and/or action on the following. A, election of members and officers. Number 1, nomination committee report, action of recommendation. Our nomination committee met, and the new officers will be Chair David Davis, Vice Chair Andrea Kosar, and Secretary Treasurer Jerry Mobley.
Is that a motion?
We asked for a motion.
I'm
Okay,
asking
well,
for a
that's
motion.
so moved.
Second.
David, we shall switch.
Thank you for saying.
Oh, thank you very much. Okay, I have a motion and a second. Is there everyone in favor? Yes.
Aye.
Any against? There we go. Motion carries.
Davis?
I
And
don't
before
need
you
to.
go, I'll go too far away.
No, you're doing it, Jerry.
I always
Give her
say,
this one, she still.
take the plastic
she still
off. I always get, because all it makes is a big shine for a picture.
Yeah, that's all you see is the shine.
That's what I'm saying. I was like,
That's beautiful.
All right, Judge, in recognition of your outstanding leadership, we would like to present you with a small memento of our appreciation for your service, and you've left a big example for all of us to follow. We thank you very much.
Oh, hold it up.
Let's do it this way.
yeah,
Hold
it's
that hand.
in between.
There we go. You got it? Okay.
All right. Got it.
You spelled that landing time wrong.
That wasn't a me
We
thing.
had lost control and it hadn't even started.
You know, we And I think it speaks to her character and her compassion for others, and that she constantly tells people, just call me Justin. You don't have to go to Van Lanningham and stand on your mouth. This is a woman that's got a heart as big as Texas, has compassion and love and concern for everybody, and it has been an absolute pleasure to be able to be your right hand man for the last year.
We thank you.
You know. And before we go further, I'd like to thank everybody involved for this honor. It is an honor, a privilege, and I ask for your patience as I'm trying to follow the example that has been set for me. But there are large shoes to fill, so I need all of you to help me walk. For the next order of business, reappointment of members to the board, 2-year terms. The recommendations are Thomas Mills, Robert Hawkins, Kevin Benedict, Ignacio Vasquez, Dick Van Dyke, David Davis, Damaris Neely, Charles Eaton, Calvin Reuter, and Andrea Kosar.
So moved.
Moved and seconded, the recommendations are accepted. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, I'll ask for a vote. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, nay. The motion carries. No new members to appoint.
We have a vacancy for Limestone County that we're working with. Judge made that. Did he make that point?
I think he's made
He
Stacy
did.
Bush.
I think he did, because I got a phone call too.
Okay, let's go ahead and act on,
Stacy Bush.
Stacy Bush, be the new board member for Limestone County.
So moved.
Second.
Moved and seconded, any discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, say nay.
It's nice for the taxing lady, they're not here.
All right, B, chair recognition of subcommittees. Item number 1, entrepreneurship and small business development committee members. Nominees are Kevin Benedict chair, Dick Van Dyke, Matthew Wright, Jessica True.
So moved.
I think we go through 1 through 6 and then make a motion for all.
Okay, sure.
Well, actually, it's Mr. Davis's appointment. They don't have to
Oh.
vote on it at all.
All right. Here's what they need.
Yeah.
He doesn't make that.
Yeah, 1 through 6 is just his recommendation.
That's your pronouncement.
Okay, so-
But if you would read them to the record.
Number 2, housing committee. We're proposing Damaris Neely as chair, Jerry Mobley, Calvin Reuter, and Ignacio Vasquez. Number 3, education and workforce development committee members, chair, Jerry Mobley, Scott Felton, Lloyd Lane, Shane Braswell. 4, regional marketing committee members, Jay Elliott, chair, Art Mann, Damaris Neely, Matthew Wright. 5, revolving loan committee, Damaris Neely, chair, Kevin Benedict, Shane Braswell, Robert Hawkins, Jay Elliott, Charles Eaton, Cindy Van Lanningham. 6, workforce committee, Robert Hawkins, chair emeritus, Jerry Mobley, chair, Randy Briggs, Damaris Neely, David Davis. All right. That brings us to item C, comprehensive economic development strategy, which says, number 1, approval of HOTCOG to continue serving as the SEDS committee for the Heart of Texas region, as HOTCOG must reappoint itself each year.
Second.
Moved and seconded. Any discussion? None? All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Number 2, approval of SEDS update advisory committee to continue working with staff for 2026.
Second.
Moved and seconded. All in favor, any discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, nay. Carries. Number 3, appointment of the 2026 SEDS Update Advisory Committee. The 2025 committee is Robert Hawkins, Damaris Neely, Dick Van Dyke, and David Davis.
Second.
Seconded. Any discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, nay. Motion's carried. Okay. Item D, consider and act on staff support for HOTCOG program.
Okay, one of the things that we're gonna be doing in the next year, as y'all know, we have done extensive work with EDA moving forward. We have a new project in this next coming year that we're really excited about, and that's, operation of our BDO stands for Broadband Development Office. As y'all are aware, the federal government for years has been pushing out money to increase broadband for everybody. We have been taking positions, MTGs and EDDs for the state, that the federal maps are not good maps. The feds have finally, after spending a decade of saying it's all okay, and finally come back and said, maybe we need to engage on the local level to figure out what's going on. So we applied for and received through TARC, and TARC is the Texas Association of Regional Councils. They have received a federal grant. This will be a 3-year grant from TARC to operate a broadband expansion program for the hard Texas region in each one of your counties to improve and expand broadband. In doing so, this is a big project, and we're going to add staff on to help with that. And the staff member that we're going to move on, most of already know, Andy Davis, that works in our criminal justice department. We're going to be bringing him on under Dorothy. He will be doing broadband work. And so we want to make you aware that we're going to be expanding that project, including Andy, and so the work that we do with the EDD.
One of the specific initiatives we're looking at in ways of improving broadband.
Identification of dead spots, the expansion of the last mile services, figuring out where you're from Treesome County, you've got pine trees and lakes that are a problem. You know, you've got Lake Whitney, that's a problem. Broadband dissipates over that. And a lot of areas, if you look at the federal maps, it'll say you've got broadband service. You in fact don't. Because and Jerry, you know what I'm talking about, but we all know it. You know, AT&T will say, we have, what they will say is, we have broadband accessibility in your neighborhood. What that means is they have a fiber that goes through your town.
That you can't tap on.
To. So it's accessible, but it's not usable. And so this identifies those dead pockets and yes, sir, we can. We can look at that. And and this is not just the rural counties. I mean, this also goes back to Clinton County. I would cite me as an example. If you go to the broadband maps, it will tell you that I have T-Mobile, AT&T, Verizon, and Spectrum as high-speed alternatives in my neighborhood. And I live within the corporate city limits of the city of Waco. Spectrum is the only person that delivers to my neighborhood. And it passes through, but it doesn't stop. And so that's what this is working. It's going to be a lot of work on the ground. We will be going to a lot of city councils. We'll be engaging the local community, and it's rubber.
We need your help getting the word out.
So it's just identifying the dead spots,
Yes.
improving the
To
map.
start.
Right.
So we're not really,
So you're not spinning around.
so we're providing information, and what's done with it
They go back.
will be left up to somebody else.
Well, it's left up to them, but to get them the accurate data, so when they do the final funding for, quote, the last mile, that it's a true last mile that gets service.
And it's also education. There's people in our communities that still don't know how to use the internet and use it, and so that'll be a component of it too, because they're wanting everybody to have access and be able to use it.
So the funding goes to HOTCOG, it doesn't go through it to some of the communities, not to halls or anything?
Actually,
It's
goes to
HOTCOG.
HOTCOG, okay, but it's for staffing, or like there's also grant funding that can go to each community to.
It's just for staffing the
Okay,
plan.
okay.
At this point in time, it's just staff.
Staffing, mapping of the.
We've got to wrap everything, I mean, we've got to ramp everything up
Right.
in place.
So this is not affected by things like Starlink and other wireless.
No, the wireless providers and the Starlink is a little bit different because this also, the part of this big deal thing is affordability factor. You know, Starlink's $100 a month, Time Warner's $30. And so.
120.
120,
But,
but affordability is a
That's part of
variable
it.
word,
But
but that's part of it, is to give you other options and to create market incentives so that everybody can have access to the internet. I mean,
Because they're seeing it the same as electricity. It's vital.
yeah, internet is no longer a luxury, it's a necessity in our world. It's like, to me, this is the modernization, the modern version of rural electrification. You know, COVID taught us all the remote work, the remote schools. People that did well were people that had accessibility to affordable, accurate, viable internet.
I'm excited that this is going, that we've got the grant that is going, HOTCOG's going to be able to do. The only thing I'm pointing out is it's frustrating. We've been talking about broadband accessibility for a long time. HOT Ed has given revolving loan funds to broadband companies to help assist in that. And for the most part, you still have the same dead areas we've always had. I was just trying to identify specifically what this grant would do and what it would not do, and then so we could set our expectations.
Primary fund, just, Kevin, you and I have been doing this for the last 20 years, and I agree with you. Here's what if you want to get down to the dirty part of this takes away the control of AT&T and Verizon telling you where the maps are, and it goes back to the local city councils and school boards and communities to tell you where the real access is. I mean, it's
Just
not
because
an advertisement.
from I-35 to Marlin on Highway 7, they put a fiber optic line, only for them, but they claimed that they were serving the entire area, but no one at AT&T would allow you that.
It's available.
It's available.
We get the same thing because of 45.
And the only
time we ever hear about it
It's when it breaks.
is when it breaks.
Yeah.
And then it's everybody's problem.
Yeah.
But anyway, I got you.
But
Thank you for your.
I share your frustration. We've been trying to do this forever, but this is our first real step that we've been able to move to where they're willing to listen to us.
Wonderful. Thank you.
I mean, it's a big step. It may not seem like it, but a journey of 1,000 miles starts that first step. They have finally realized that they've got to listen to the local people.
Wonderful. Thank you.
As with so many things, local input is vital for situations. All right. Okay. Then we'll move on to number 8, President Staff Report. Take it away.
Okay. Michelle,
Make a motion.
They don't need to act on this?
they don't need that. They're just.
Okay, okay.
Okay. Okay,
Do y'all want to vote on that? I mean, it's really. Okay, so you're an old timer, Dick, you're an old timer, I'm going back up. I'm looking at our old timers, that I'm calling lazy board members. And you know what, I want this as a, well, I want to verify, because we've been doing this for a long time. And we've got a lot of important things here, and I just want to make sure that I'm continuing to do what we've done, and that everybody represents it. When Hot Ed contracts with HOTCOG, the contract is through me. The staff that I bring on is my staff. And so we share the way. I'm the one that if y'all are gonna fire somebody or fuss at, I'm the one that y'all chew out. You don't chew out Fallon, you don't chew out Dorothy, you chew me out. And so conversely, when I use my support staff to support Hot Ed services, these are my people. They work for you, they're mine. It's like a city manager. You know, you've got the police chief, you've got the fire chief, that's the city manager's employees, not your. And I just want to verify that we all still agree with that.
Can't imagine that being any different.
No, I don't think it would be any different. It's just that staff has kind of argued with me that they think we need that they want to do the right thing. It's all about transparency, but I'm like, I'm the one that gets fired, not you.
Well, to explain, Hot Ed is doing more match to the EDA grant.
Yeah.
Because we're bringing on another staff person. Now, this broadband grant is going to pay for it. It's just, it may be a month before that can happen. And so, but we got to start, well, it starts February 1.
Yeah, it's, Dorothy, just, and I don't expect the exact number, ballpark. How many millions and millions of projects have we done with our EDA work in the last 10 years? 20, 25?
Well, so Bellmead was 2.5.
Yep.
Hillsborough was 1.4. Mahia was 1.2, I think. Fairfield was 900,000. TSTC was 3.5 million.
That's our part, not the total projects.
Right, right.
I'm talking about total project value.
Oh my gosh.
And you've had two.
The TSTC project was 12 by itself.
Yep.
So.
Yeah, so you're probably accurate, 2025.
That's what I'm saying. I mean, we've had a huge economic impact in the past few years. And they get credit for it. And y'all do too, but we've had a huge impact in just a few years. And I'm picking on Kevin because he's here today for me. But I can remember when we started.
I haven't taken a picture yet.
He hasn't. Even though I have a photographer down there for him, but we won't go there.
We digress.
I think it is a blessing that this committee can now partner in terms of billions. When we started, Dick, you, Robert, all that, we were talking about thousands, not the level of work that we're doing now. I mean, the workforce, we went in there, we had a $4 million note we were worried about. It's paid for. It is a revenue generator. And so this committee has done tremendous work. And the next 10 years is going to be phenomenal.
Revenue off that allowed us to build our own HOTCOG center that not only the Hot Ed uses, but the entire Heart of Texas Council of Government was able to use, and that was all due to this organization.
And that building will be paid off in a few years.
And having the vision to do it.
And take the chance.
Yeah.
That's because this board had vision. You know, it's always easy to sit back and criticize and belittle and, oh, I don't think we should take that chance. Even our revolving loan fund, the companies that we've done, they've all relatively been successful. Even the ones that didn't turn out perfect still turned out far better than most of them do. We have received awards for the fact of our revolving loan fund. Most people can't even make the loans, much less get the loans paid back. And so that's back to the due diligence of this board when we look at those loans. You know, we're not making as many loans as we want to right now. That's partially driven by the banking industry. That anything that's halfway supportable, they're not looking for partners. You know, we were always going to be that 20% partner. They don't need us, but that has allowed us to do this EDA work that's had a $25 million economic impact for us. So we've done well there.
We're working on more.
And we're working on more.
5 more. Hopefully.
5 more?
5.
Okay.
I just hope at least 2 years.
So and I guess what, you'll be seeing Andy at these meetings more in the future. And you hadn't met Andy, but he's a kid. I think he's 12, 13.
Very smart young man.
We have Russell's rule of aging, and Russell's rule of aging, Kevin, you're 35.
You like?
Generous.
And so,
Very generous.
and so therefore, Andy's 8.
So is everybody comfortable with where we are?
Yes.
Any problems?
I'll accept the motion to ratify the agreement.
Well, it just sounds like it's not necessary.
No.
Okay, Michelle?
Okay. If you would please turn to the
$1,474,093. Notes receivable, $68,581. Fixed assets, $1,144,034, for a total of $2,686,708 assets. They're your liabilities, $545,485 for the HOTCOG building, and fund equity, $2,141,223. Your total liabilities and fund equity, $2,686,708.
Where are we with that one?
Net one has basically ceased to pay. We have sued them in court. We have received a summary judgment, and we have placed liens against their department. So we are in a holding pattern until such time as the estate materializes or to develop. We have placed liens against properties. We have not repossessed his car. We've not done anything at that level. There is a tower site that will satisfy the note, and we have placed all liens necessary against that piece of property.
And we've been working with them to get them to exercise that judgment, maybe get them to agree to transfer ownership of that tower.
We have tried to work with Net One, and Net One has taken a position they no longer want to communicate.
There are, we'll talk off meeting, but there are ways of being able to move that along.
Yeah.
You have a summary judgment. There's ways of being able to move that along. Because if they fail to communicate, then all the goodwill is gone anyway.
Yeah.
I think we take the action that we have available to us. We'll talk about that.
Okay, the next page is the combined statement of revenues and expenditures for month ended December 31st. This is for, since our last meeting was October, this is for October through December, which is also our fiscal year to date. Your revenues were $216,239, and expenditures $132,184, for a net surplus of $84,055. And the last page is the detail, the itemized detail of all the expenditures. If you want to look at that, and if you have any questions, please feel free.
What do we have left on the workforce building to do? I mean, I'm just.
Minor maintenance. I mean, we repainted the building, we put a new roof on it, we put new carpet in it, we've replaced the kiosk. Other than what I would say routine maintenance. I mean,
That's right.
The current thing that we have online is we've got new fence work around their air conditioning units.
And they're gonna need a lot more new, they're gonna need.
They're gonna
AC units.
I mean, AC unit is, those AC units are 20
Yeah.
years old. But we have been replacing them. We have developed the maintenance policy instead of just fixing them because of the age, that as they go down and go out, we replace these units and get more modern units out of it. It's standard maintenance. I mean,
HOTCOG building,
HOTCOG building, we have some big ticket items we need to talk about.
because I knew the roof.
The
So
roof
we've got
is
some
in
deferred
process.
maintenance on that.
on the HOTCOG building,
Yes.
yes. We've got some deferred maintenance issues there that we need to address.
Mainly the roof, correct?
Mainly the roof. And we've signed the contract, we're in the process of having that replaced. What we will need to do after the roof is replaced, and I'm satisfied that there's no leaks or warranties or any other issues. We have carpet issues that we're gonna have to address in that building. The carpet is bad, and there's some furniture issues that we'll have to address.
And I knew, the big one was, I didn't know about HOTCOG, and I was wondering basically where the roof was.
Yeah.
I know we had talked about it.
Is that in our current
We've
budget?
awarded the contract.
Is that in our current budget to replace those items that you're talking about replacing?
The roof is, we've already, the action has already been taken to approve and replace.
No, I'm just talking about all the furnitures and fixtures you're talking about.
That's
Is that
those will be
included
items
in
that
the
we will be
budget?
bringing forward within the next year. We have the necessary monies there, as we complete stage one, stage two, we will come back.
But knowing it's needed, has it been addressed in the budget?
Not as a line item.
Might not. we know it's needed, we've got numbers, we might ought to include that in the budget.
Okay. We have the necessary funds. I don't have a good cost for you, of what it's gonna cost to replace the carpet. When we get step one done, then I will go out and start consulting carpet people to see what it's gonna replace. Because unlike, the problem with our carpet, and we're kind of getting into the nitty gritty, when the building was built, it's easy to just roll sheet carpet down and go. You know, we've got a cubicle farm in there, we've got other things in there. We can't disassemble the entire inside of the building and do sheet carpet. And the current trend now is carpet tiles anyway. So it's to hire a company to come in and carpet tile around certain things. Dorothy's office will get all new carpet because it's easy to move her furniture.
Offices there.
The cubicles, not so much. And here's the funny part. Dorothy, Fallon, and Michelle's offices are easy to replace. Andy's cubicle is not, because he's in a cubicle. But I mean, I don't have a good number off the top of my head to
No,
tell you.
I just thought we did, and if we did, let's get them.
I can give you sheet carpet prices. I can't give you the tile prices, because it's a lot more labor involved in moving and not moving stuff.
Okay.
But as we get those prices, we'll be bringing that to the board. Furniture, and there again, if you're asking me to pull a number out of my rear, we probably got to replace, like in the boardroom and the training room, we probably got 150 chairs we have to replace. You know, if they're $200 a chair, there's your money, there's $30,000 a chair.
Now, just to be clear, I wasn't asking for specifics, I was just asking whether we had a budgeted amount to be able to address that. If we know it's coming and it's needed, have we separated and budgeted that money? That was all, not whether we had bids and we knew what it was.
Michelle, is it 1.1, 1.3?
1.1
We have 1.1
in the bank, yeah.
Sure.
So we have sufficient cash capital to cover what far in excess of what we're gonna need.
Yeah, and they won't be $200.
No. But if you're asking me to pull a number out.
Yeah, but that's, yeah.
I've got to give you something to look at.
No,
You know, probably most of the chairs will be in the $90 range.
It's still a lot of money.
Which is still a lot of money because it's a large number of chairs. But you know, it's hard to believe, Kevin, and we're going to kind of compare something on it. August is 20 years.
It's unbelievable.
It seems like yesterday. But an overnight success takes about 25 years. Yes.
Dorothy?
Okay, so I'm gonna go over my report as quickly as possible. I did wanna point out, the EDA disaster supplemental, they had 1.45 billion in recovery funding, and it's 23-24 declared disasters for the state of Texas that it falls under. And, they have a readiness path, an implementation path, industry path, and the industry path is due March 3rd. There's nobody in our region, because McLean County is not an eligible part, they were not in the disasters. And they would have been the only ones to probably do an industry path. But we still have an implementation path, and I've got 5 grants that we are working with right now. I'm working with the city of Hubbard, the city of Clifton, the city of Marlin, the city of Hillsborough, and Hill College. And, it is a lot of work for these entities to do. And we just are hoping or prayer that they get funded. So, it will be really great if all 5 got funded, and if that's the case, then Andy's gonna be used a lot, Fallon's gonna be used a lot, because there's no way that I could do 5 by myself all at the same time. I mean, I guess I could, but you wouldn't see me. I wouldn't come to meetings. I'd just be busy doing that.
She'd be in the dungeon. If I could just, and y'all, all of you have good employees, and you just wish you could run away.
So, I just want to let you know about that. And then, but for McLean County and for the rest of the rural counties, there is the regular public works economic adjustment grants that they're doing. Now, of course, that's a rolling, and that's, that's the grants that Hillsboro's gotten before. That's the grants that, Mahada did and Bellmead. So those are, they're just not a higher number. The disaster funds, we can like ask up to $5 million, and possibly get awarded. With the public works one, you're looking at, 9 to 1.5 to 2 million. So, just to let you know that. The broadband, we talked about the broadband. It's a 3-year period, and it's about $107,000 a year. So, it would be great if we could do more infrastructure stuff, but obviously $107,000, that's only gonna be the staffing and planning and doing the mapping and doing the outreach. And that is a hard part, is reaching out to your community members and getting feedback from those people who don't have access, or if you know they don't have access, please let me know, because they can't respond. They won't be able to respond on Facebook or anything else unless they, use it to stop their cell towers. But it's really important when we start this project, when we start February 1, we have a major class or information session at TARC in Austin about it. And we will be hitting the ground hard, and it'll be Fallon and Andy and me spread all out trying to get this plan going. Committee members, so some of you will be getting calls to be on the committee, the broadband committee. Volunteers would be great. After the 3-year period, I want Hot Ed to take over that committee function of the broadband. So, right now it's under HOTCOG, but after that period is over, it only makes sense it's under Hot Ed.
Doctor, could you give us just a thumbnail of how you see the outreach portion of the grant working out?
Well, I had a plan, and then some things happened.
As it all.
Grant-wise, funding-wise, with some other programs, that this first year, a lot of it is going to be staff. There is public software that's really good at entities being able to use to get that information out and get that information back in. But there's a cost to that, and I can't afford that right now. Now, Esri, we found out through Sarah's program, the 911 program, we can add, and it's about $600, and we can add and we can use that for helping us with the mapping part of it. So Andy's already started talking about that and finding out about that. So we're going to do that. We're going to have to do that. But the more professional staff or help we can get on a lot of this stuff is going to be, we want the message to be clear. We want the plan to be very easy to understand, and we want it to be accurate. So, let's see, and Fallon is working with TCEQ on her solid waste with her next biennium, which is the 26-27. We do have the money's there.
The money's there. I talked to 5 of the 6 judges today.
But they are asking more questions about their COG managed projects this time than they have in the past. So she's having to do some work on that. And it's just our turn. I told her it's just our turn for TCQ to ask questions. We also, on air quality, we have an RFQ, qualifications out, and they're due February 2nd. And we'll find out. We've got more consultants this time. It's not been.
Air quality becoming a big
Yes,
thing.
yes. So we have more consultants that are asking questions, so it's just whoever's going to be the best to do the job.
And air quality is a major economic development driver. Because we're all, I always have laughed about what they term it. We're a non-attainment area as opposed to attainment area. And non-attainment is good, but attainment is bad. And so it's kind of the reverse of what you think. But we have clean air, we have the air monitors out, we have employed scientific firms in the past that do all this monitoring that allows us to keep our high quality air region, which helps attract good economic development partners.
Any questions from
It saves $30 per car.
Yeah.
That's good.
Our air quality program saves every person in this region $30 a shot.
You're welcome.
That's one of the invisible benefits. Outside of this table, the general public really doesn't understand the work that goes into it. But it's, y'all have done phenomenal work.
Any more staff reports?
I have a staff report. Yeah, I have an issue I need to bring up with y'all, and staff, and Michelle is unaware of, and this comes out of our meeting this morning. This just came up, and so I'm gonna give y'all some history first. As Judge Duncan so readily pointed out, that if y'all could get rich on me talking, we'd be the wealthiest playing around. But I'm gonna give you more detail than you know, because I'm sake of transparency, I want y'all to know what's going on, because y'all are all leaders. So, we have a thing that occurred over 20 years called 9/11. Terrorists flew some airplanes and some towers and wiped them out. At that point in time, the federal government deemed Homeland Security to be an important issue, and that coordination of services would be important for the federal government to get involved in. That has occurred for the last 26 years. Recently, the current administration has a high focus on immigration issues, and they have taken the position that any state that does not follow their immigration initiatives are not friends. And so what has happened is that the administration has stripped the Homeland Security money from the state of California and the state of Illinois and a few other small states. For practical purposes, this is California, Illinois. And they have awarded states that they feel are aligned with them. Well, the states that are aligned with them happen to be Texas and Florida. California, Illinois is not happy that they lost their money. They filed a federal lawsuit. A federal judge ruled in favor of California and Illinois and said the president doesn't have the authority to turn over congressional actions and disavow laws. And so the administration has appealed that decision, and it's gone to the Supreme Court. Where this affects us directly is that the Homeland Security drawdowns are from the federal government to the governor's office, and then the governor's office back through us, through EPAC and criminal justice committees. So on December 31st, at about 2 o'clock in the afternoon, the governor's office sent HOTCOG a cease and desist letter, stop all operations of criminal justice, Homeland Security, and the Emergency Planning Division to stop at 8 o'clock the next morning. Our contracts actually require that there's a 30-day notice if you're going to terminate it. The COG directors that were still in the office on the holiday afternoon at 2 o'clock kind of rallied pretty quick, and so the governor came back and said, stop services February 1. So our EPAC committee, effective February 1st, is no longer funded from the state. The problem that entails is we all have benefited from this. There's a system called ENS, which is an emergency notification system. That is a system when a tornado hits your town, bad weather's coming, a flood event, there's some kind of disaster, that everybody can be notified through this online system. The payment for that system is due March 1st. That system is paid for by funds through the Homeland Security Justice Grant, which has been terminated. It hadn't been terminated, it's just been frozen. We believe, firmly believe, that this grant, once it's settled in court, money will come back to us. It works one of two ways. We either get what our federal allotment was, which is what we were expecting, and that covers the expenses, or we get 85% more money because they took it away from California and Illinois. I don't know what's going to happen. If you're asking me, my opinion, and $1 will get you off the paper. unlikely that the Supreme Court rules against the president, but at the same time, there stands a chance that they're gonna uphold the lower court ruling. Problem is, they have frozen all the money. It's not just the bonus money, they have frozen all the accounts. So it's multiple states that are in this freeze without Homeland Security. Get off the rabbit trail. The problem is, I owe $42,000. We owe $42,000 for our vendor on March 1st. If a grant's been frozen, there is no money coming through that grant to pay for that. I have met several of the judges. Our initial agreement was each of our county judges in the city of Waco would contribute an amount of money to cover that cost. And then when we get the money, it's a reimbursement. At this morning's meeting, there were a few that wanted to explore some other options, being that we take our contingency money at the COG to pay for it, or that we access our line of credit with HOTCOG. We have a line of credit with HOTCOG and access that money to pay for it, and then let those funds be reimbursed after the fact. So where I'm at this point is I don't have a solid answer for you yet, but I have to make action before March 1st, and y'all will not meet before March 1st. And so I have to get with Michelle, we have to sit down, we have to look at numbers, but we may be accessing, there's a possibility we may be accessing a line of credit to pay for the CNS system, because storm season is coming up, tornado season is coming up. This is kind of not the time to fund until, let's just wait 6 months before we start the system. The system's very important. EPAC committee, all the emergency managers of the different counties, they're all in favor of not stopping our forward movement. So that's kind of where we're at. I don't have any clear answers for it. Michelle's over here having a heart attack right now.
Yes, she is.
This is the first that she's heard of.
We have reserves. Does the COG have reserves?
We are not tax funded, and so all of our money, most of everything we do is reimbursement grant basis. So it's not like we're sitting, even when we show that, okay, we've got money sitting over here, that's money that's due us, that's not necessarily cash on hand.
So we don't have, HOTCOG does not have reserves.
No, we do not.
Not without
HOTCOG
robbing
does not have
somebody else.
reserves.
So we would be having to look to access our line of credit with audit.
Or just,
Technically, I already have the authority, and the amount of money is not such that it
It's
exceeds.
$42,000.
We have, Michelle, and I hate to say it this way, but what is our line of credit?
100,000, we can borrow up to 100,000 with audit.
I can do that money back and
Long-standing
forth.
agreement.
Anything in excess of 100,000, I have to come get y'all's approval on. We've never done that before, but we've never had to do that before. We've been able to stay within what we need. If I pull 42,000 out to pay for the ENS, that drastically lowers my line of credit, which means I might have to come back to y'all and ask for an increase. Now, we have the reserves, but the executive board this morning requested that I pursue some other opportunities. Well, either take it from our reserve or going to y'all. Originally, we had kind of, we were going down the level of each of our partners would contribute 6,000, because in no way could each of the counties get an ENS system anywhere near that number. It would cost them 42,000 is what it would cost them to get a single county system. And so my original plan was for each one of the major partners, get in 6,000, that covers our 42. When the money comes back to us, we reimburse. A few of our partners asked to look at other options.
just keep us notified. That would be my opinion. Just keep us notified as to where we are.
I mean, we have the money, and it's under normal circumstances, it kind of falls within the normal operation, but all our grants are reimbursement grants. They don't pay us up front. We do the work and then we're reimbursed. So that's where our line of credit spread back and forth, is when did we cover these gaps? If I pull out this big a number of gap, I am afraid that I'm gonna have to come back and say, hey, I need some more money. And it's all temporary, because when we borrow from you, we pay you interest, it goes back, you make a deal, it's good for both parties. But this, this is, it's not quite, and, I like to use round numbers. I'm taking half of my line of credit for this one thing. And that really shrinks what is left.
This is a statewide issue.
This is it is a multi-state issue, but it is all across Texas. And I have colleagues who are not as fortunate as we are, and so they've had to lay staff off and get rid of it. And so that's bad. You take personnel that are EMTs and do that specialized work, and they love what they're doing, and you turn around and go, I gotta let you go, I don't know what I'm worried about. Might be 6 days, might be 6 months. You're asking me to look at a crystal ball, I can give you what I think, in my opinion, in a dollar will get you something better. I think that this will be decided before June. I have other colleagues that think it will be decided before the next month. So there's a broad spectrum across this field.
Just keep us posted.
Okay.
Whatever we've got the line of credit with the EDD.
I do think it's
Still important.
I think it's pretty wild that as important during the legislature as it was with the floods and all, that we're sitting here looking at not being able to have an EMS system. And we're sitting on a $37 billion surplus. So,
Read my mind.
I mean, we spent billions to build a section of a border wall. I don't want to get into it, but we spent billions on that. And that's not the border, that's just a couple miles. 16 million is what fixes this problem for the whole state. That is basically 4 or 5 days of interest that we're making on the budget surplus. They have decided, the state has decided to play hardball with the feds, and tragically, we're the ones getting pushed and stepped up. There's other parts, I mean, I'm not happy where we are, but at least we have some options where we're at. There's other parts of the state, they're gonna be in trouble. And this is not the time of the year to be doing this. I mean, I don't wanna pick on anybody either, because we're all friends, but Judge, you got the Bosque River up there in Meridian, and that's got a rock bottom, and if it rains 6 inches, you've got floods. You've got people that have been displaced because of floods. Well, if you know it's coming and we can't do that emergency notification, call them up, say evacuate. Judge, you have hit the nail on the head. We're playing, not us, but people are playing somebody's lives over this deal.
Which is all the reason why the counties or major partners should be walking over $6,000 out of their annual budgets, but
I would
still,
say
we're good to go.
We have, I cannot.
We had,
That's all I'm getting.
right, we had probably 4 or 6 that would have, and and 2 balls. I'm not saying who, but I go 2 balls that thought there was more reserve in the HOTCOG. He mentioned the line of credit, which we were like, and I just go, and like I told him at the meeting, I'm like, well, if that doesn't work out, we just need basically send an invoice to everybody, so it's all legal, and then we're good.
We had 5 sevens, and then 2 individuals, and I'm not going to mention, y'all know who it was, I mean,
Yes.
but I mean, the point of it is, 2 of them like, well, look at other alternatives, and the sad part is, don't be given. Well, it's a joke that they,
Yes.
one I can understand, the other one, and they had committed originally that they were in favor of it, but you know how politics is, roll around the table, when one of them said, well, why don't you look at something else? I'm like, yeah, why don't you look at something else? And I look at my other partners, and that stepped up to the plate readily. I mean, I'll sit there and tell you, Judge Lloyd, Judge Bradwell, Judge Elliott, Judge Van Lanningham, never balked at one point and said, we're here to help. I didn't say nobody else.
It's kind of like what happened. It's similar to what happened with the air quality program when it went away, and we asked the counties, pitch in for a year what happened.
And they did.
And they did.
They saw the value of it. And this is just as valuable. But it is what it is. So what my information to you is, we probably will be looking, and Michelle's over there having a hard time. When I get back to office, she's going,
Where are you gonna talk it to, mister?
Oh, I'm gonna get nailed when we get back.
So you've got your plan A, your plan B. Well,
And my plan C.
is that everybody pitches in. So if plan A doesn't work,
Plan A is tough.
yeah. I would-
Well, and that's why I wish you'd
We
have-
might have $10 more here, or we might
Yes.
have, so then we look at plan B, which is,
Line of credit.
yeah, line of credit. Okay, what's that gonna cost as far as, what's your interest rate on that? Or C?
We charge 25%.
Oh,
23.99.
hey, what was the 12%?
That's $80 a month.
But we go with whatever the tax pool is, because that's where Con Ed's money is, and then,
We're looking
and
at
then the tax pool is figured at an annual percentage rate.
Y'all can
That's
choose
what
to
we
wait
pay
there
back
if you
in.
want to, but you know, we'll cross that bridge. My point is, I fear that I will be calling y'all asking for an extension to raise that credit or something. Michelle can probably talk to you, and I'll be probably making a phone call. Leave that here in the
She's just going to.
I hear calculator spending.
But it's hard to put her on the spot right now, say, tell me exactly where it's gonna be, because of the way the reimbursements of the grants go, all that stuff. is much more, we don't have a budget like that.
I mean, if you wanna be on, so here's the thing, HOTCOG, already recently, we owe Con Ed 37,000.
Yep.
Plus interest, because we had to borrow for a TxDOT thing where a rep didn't turn in an invoice and the vendor was having a fit, so we had to pay him quickly. HOTCOG didn't have the money, I used the line of credit. We're waiting for TxDOT to pay us, so we're already 37,000 down on that $100,000. And then we're gonna go 42,000 down.
Which basically burns up the whole thing.
So it sounds like, to me, it sounds like plan A will not work, plan B will not work, so therefore.
Well, Plan B technically still can
Well,
work.
Yes.
it will
But,
work, it's
but
flat out.
at some point,
If we're using that 100,000 cap, we don't run out of it.
yes.
Unless y'all decided to raise the cap for it.
So,
We're at 79, so in case something happens in the next 2 months before the meeting, it's probably better to just do it overall.
I am reluctant to ask for that, but that's what I'm asking.
that, and again, we can always call.
And our partners should not be putting us through this entire discussion over $6,000 per entity. And it's become just real simple to engage this discussion. But whatever we need to do, it's an important piece.
Yeah. We can do that via Zoom if that makes sense.
That's what that is. We can.
All it's
if
gonna
need
be
be.
is a simple item that I'm gonna say, I need to increase the cap.
Under limestone.
Yeah.
Michelle can tell you by how much.
Yeah, she's gonna be.
She takes it from what she, but that's.
Yeah, she's gonna take it, which,
Over six.
but she's not aware of this. I mean, this is only came up this morning.
Over emergency notification system.
So are you asking for line of credit under president's report?
No, you can't.
Well, he
Well,
does.
technically you can if you're not.
He doesn't need it because he has it. And then if a meeting is need to be called, we have the ability to increase as he would bring it up.
Based on additional
No, we
information.
can do it
Correct.
virtual. We can do virtual.
That's what I'm saying, we can do it virtually,
Okay.
because I mean,
Because he's right in.
honestly, I mean, we're kind of right there.
Yes.
It is that
Because
simple, Dave, the beauty of it, because David can walk down the street, we do the meeting. It's a 5-minute
He does
meeting.
an office at that building. Plus,
You never done
he thinks you're still down there, David. Poor David, he
I still
doesn't
have
know.
a key.
He doesn't know.
He's still got keys. I guarantee if you go to that building, you ask them anything, you know what they'll say? Go ask David.
No, now they say Mr. Davis, no, they say Mr. Davis.
Well, they say.
When you get this old, they tend to do that. But I think it's good that we had this discussion, because if we do have to take additional action, we're prepared, we have enough background.
Yeah.
We'll come back to
Yeah.
that.
I'm giving you more than you needed to know, but I want to be transparent so you understand where we're at. Because I'm kind of stuck in our slot.
Okay.
Okay.
Was that the president's report?
But Ignacio, I will tell you, it's now a storm warning, it's really a
Yes,
storm warning.
it's been moved up to
It's
go
not a
warning.
watch.
Oh, that's a good one.
I'm supposed to get on an airplane in the morning to go to Colorado, so I'm about to go call and cancel the flights.
I'm getting updates, so.
It's already getting here?
No, it's not till Saturday morning. Just Sunday evening.
Is it Friday?
It moved in Friday night, but it didn't be overnight till Saturday.
I'm flying, I would fly out before the storm, and I come back Monday after the storm, but my wife is concerned about her mother and the pets. I'm kind of like, your mother's 75, she's put a blanket on Colorado Springs.
I would kept that to myself and out of a public meeting, that's
Yeah.
me, but that's a,
Nah.
tell your mother, to put on a blanket.
My mother's 95, she knows how to light a fire.
Yeah.
Yes, gas. My house is full of electric.
Ignacio said he's not responsible.
I ain't saying nothing bad about Ignacio. He's always taking care of me. He's a good man.
He's good.
Having completed every item on the agenda, I'll entertain a motion for adjournment.
So moved.
Moved and seconded, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Thank you so very much for joining this meeting.
That tells you how long it's been since you got